Day 2 of Ravens OTAs just wrapped up, and it was a strong team showing today, including Lamar Jackson. We'll go over all the highlights from Day 2 of OTAs, as well as hearing from John Harbaugh, Mark Andrews, Odafe Oweh, Isaiah Likely, all that and more in today's episode of the Flock Rundown.
Ravens Flock. Flock Rundown is the place to be.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. So Day 2 of OTAs just wrapped up. They had to take it inside because it was pouring rain, but the showing, the turnout was insane. I mean, pretty much every single Raven was there. Harbaugh did speak on 2 absences. He said Awuzie was sick and that Falele was working through some physical things and he should be out there soon. So I don't know what that means, but Falele was not there today, nor was Awuzie, but pretty much everyone else was, including the return of Lamar Jackson, who wasn't there on day 1, but is already back for day 2, and all the veterans like Mark Andrews and Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins. Everybody was at practice today, and it's not a bad thing by any means, but I'm still getting used to seeing the trio of Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, as a football fan too, not just a Ravens fan. Obviously, I'm a diehard Ravens fan, but just as a football fan, it is awesome to see really legends, or at least generational greats, all on one team. You know, I know it's a little bit later in DeAndre Hopkins' career. There was a lot of people saying that about Derrick Henry as well last year, and he ended up having the second best season he's ever had. So it's awesome to see greats together like that. And we truly do have a trio of greats on this team, and it's really cool to see them all in OTAs. I mean, OTAs are voluntary. We talked about this yesterday. So it means something when a lot of veterans are showing up at OTAs this early, especially Lamar Jackson, who's the franchise. You know what I mean? That's going to spread to everyone else. And seeing guys like Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins, who don't really have to be there. I know DeAndre might have more of a reason because it's a new team and a new offense and things like that, but a lot of the vets, they don't have to be there right now. You know, they could just show up at mandatory mini camp and still get plenty of work in, and obviously there's training camp down the road, but the fact that this entire team is here this early in OTAs just speaks to how hungry they are, and a lot of guys that spoke to the media today spoke on that.
Yeah, you know, we're tired of finishing in, you know, spots where we shouldn't have finished. We're just trying to capitalize, and you can tell by guys like Lamar, D-Hop, Dehan, Bate, you know, Rowe, K-Ham, Beaks, guys that, you know, don't, like you said, don't have to be here, but we're here, we're putting in the work, building the foundations, and it's a testament to what the goal is in the future. And I feel like, you know, we got the team. We had the team the past few years, to be honest, and it's just, I feel like experience and the attitude now is going to get us over the hump.
It's learning from mistakes, and the beautiful thing is everybody that's here, we have a lot of guys that are coming back from last year, from the year before, and obviously, you know, in the years past. And so we've been able to learn a lot. You know, obviously, you know, wish we didn't have to, you know, go through that again last year, but we've added a lot of guys too, a lot of guys that are flying around, and this team is incredibly stacked with incredible players. We have a lot of healthy competition going all around, which makes us better, drives us to be better, and this is going to be a dangerous team.
We all know what we're here for, you know, and we have a mission that we're trying to accomplish, and to see the guys out there working as hard as they are and as hard as they have been means a lot. I love the way these guys work. I think they've been very intentional about every aspect of what we've done, every phase 1, phase 2, and now phase 3.
Harbaugh said Lamar Jackson was in full control of the offense today, absolutely locked in, looks ready to go right out the gates. He's obviously in great shape. I mean, he definitely looks skinny and is full of joy and moving around out there, so that's awesome to see.
I think he's the best. He's the best in football. So he works hard at it. It means a lot to him. He's been studying it. He's been training. You can tell kind of shape he's in right now. You can see by the way he threw the ball. You guys all saw it today. He was on point with the offense. He's ready. You know, he's ready to get going, and had a heck of a day today, and, you know, just keep building on it for tomorrow. But I think he, you know, what you saw today with him is probably indicative of everybody, and they all get to that point in their way. But they're all there, and they're all working, and that's what we like to see.
Everybody's always joyful to get back to football, but once you see 8 running around, having fun, you know, lighting up smiles around everybody, that's just a different level of joy that everybody on the field really goes up to. You know, finally having one of your leaders, really your top dog, out there showing that he's ready to get back to work.
And staying on the topic of the greats, DeAndre Hopkins has been the highlight of OTAs early. I mean, yesterday, they obviously put that highlight out there, and there was a lot of buzz around DeAndre Hopkins, but that continued today when all the guys and Harbaugh were speaking to the media. They were raving about DeAndre Hopkins, how good he looks, how talented he is, and how much he's going to bring to this team.
Skelly, we caught the ball. He's out there blocking there, and Skelly, so that just always shows that, he's ready to get after. He's ready to be on the football field, and you need that from a leader in that aspect in the receiver room.
What's your sense of the role he's going to take on in the playmaker mix?
I feel like he's just going to be him.
DeAndre, for us, is going to be first of all, I think he's a heck of a football player. And, he's obviously, you saw him today, right? He's a gifted guy, talented guy. But he's going to be a big body contested catch receiver for us, certainly. And he's moving great. Plus, he brings all that experience. He's been in the big games before. He's made plays in the big games. He knows how to make plays. It's not going to be any situation it's going to be too big for him. But, I just thought he and Lamar looked really good today out there together, and it was nice to see.
This year, I've been all about keeping things simple. I've been extremely busy, and Factor makes my life so much easier with fresh, nutritious meals that are ready in just 2 minutes. No prepping, no cooking, no cleanup. Just heat it, eat it, and get on with your day. Factor makes eating healthy effortless. The meals arrive fresh, they're never frozen. They fit right into my busy lifestyle, and with 45 plus weekly options, there's something for everyone. Whether you're watching your calories, trying to get more protein, on a keto diet, or just want something that actually tastes good, they got you covered. My favorite meal right now is the sun-dried tomato chicken with zucchini noodles and then a strawberry banana smoothie. Bottom line is, if you want to eat well without sacrificing time or flavor, Factor's the move. Get started at factormeals.com/flock50off and use code flock50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code flock50off at factormeals.com/flock50off for 50% off plus free shipping. We got a little bit of a report from Harbaugh on Malaki Starks, and he admitted that his role is expanded tremendously since the Ardarius Washington injury, and basically said that Malaki hasn't flashed yet, but that's because he's thinking so much and just trying to be in the right position, but he also hasn't made any mistakes.
I think he's doing a good job. I don't think he's really flashed yet because he's just trying to be in the right spot right now and make the right call. The safeties have a lot of communication, but I haven't seen him make a mistake yet with the communication.
We'll start to see Malaki flash once he's not thinking so much. It is so early. I mean, he had a couple days of rookie minicamp, and this is day 2 of OTAs. As a rookie in the NFL, you're not going to learn everything you need to that fast. So, in a month or so, or probably even sooner than that, in a couple days from now throughout OTAs, you'll probably see Malaki start to make more plays and flash a little bit more to what Harbaugh was saying. Another thing that Harbaugh talked about that I thought was really interesting is there's a true competition at kicker. Yesterday, Tyler Loop took all the kicks, and then today, John Hoyland took all the kicks, and Harbaugh spoke on the new kicking competition.
We have to spend all of our focus and our time to get these kickers ready, and we've got a competition going on, and get those guys ready to go make kicks. So that's all I'm thinking about. Like, from my perspective, it's like we got to have a kicker out there making kicks, and what's the best way to get that done?
When you said it was a football kick today, was that just the planned rotation, or?
Yeah, Tyler kicked yesterday.
Okay.
So they're kicking every other day. So you'll see Tyler kick tomorrow.
We also heard from Mark Andrews, which was refreshing to hear from him about last year even more, just because we haven't heard a lot from him. I know he spoke and did an interview a month ago or so and kind of spoke on the end of the season, but I feel like today was the real, venting session about what happened and how he went out, but he handled it well, and he seems hungry and motivated to go out there and be great in the big moments and put a full season together and stay healthy. He's taken a lot of advice from Derrick Henry. He talked about how Derrick Henry has kind of rubbed off on a lot of guys on this team, and they're living healthier lifestyles, which I think is incredible.
You've had a lot of time to absorb it, but after the game, what was going through your mind, and then the subsequent days after that and all that you had to deal with?
It's tough, it's as someone, this is my life. I put a lot of work into this, and everything I do is kind of focused on that. Everything I think about is focused on that. And so, it wasn't the way that, I'd planned it. And, but that's all part of the story. I've been using it, and I've had an incredible off season. And I'm excited to show what I can continue to do and continue to prove myself and step up in big moments. And that's the thing about sports is doesn't always fall your way, doesn't always go your way, but it's how you bounce back.
We heard from Odafe Oweh today, and he said he gained 20 pounds this offseason, which is the heaviest he's ever been right now. He went from 245 to 265, and he said he did that because of the Buffalo loss. He said that he didn't play the game that he wanted to play, and he believed that it was because of his weight. So immediately after the loss, he went to Miami, started eating, started lifting, and tried to make sure that he kept his explosiveness while he was gaining the weight.
So I was like 245 last year. I'm like 265 now, so like around 20 pounds, yeah.
What do you think that's going to do for you,
though? The run, and then obviously the top of my rush, not being able to be, pushed off the point, digging out the rip. So, yeah. And then obviously power as well, yeah.
Will it change your style as a pass rusher at all, do you think?
I wouldn't say change, maybe sharpen it. Obviously, I'm like kind of a power savvy too with my rush, so I could build off that more. And then, like I said, when I try to dip and then bring the rip up, I'll be more solid, stout in that. Yeah.
When did you kind of make the decision to say, hey, I want to get a little bit bigger?
After we lost, to be honest, we didn't have the outing, at least I didn't have the outing I wanted. So I thought like a lot of that, had to do with, my weight and, being able to be stout in certain positions. So as soon as the season was done, I went to Miami, started eating, lifting, and then, getting weight.
So we are definitely going to see a different Odafe Oweh this year, and that does probably open up a little bit more of his pass rush arsenal. John Harbaugh also spoke on the fact that he could see Odafe Oweh bull rushing and using a power rush a little bit more than he traditionally does, and I think that makes his game a little bit more versatile. If he truly hasn't lost any athleticism or speed, then he's going to be a much better player being that much stronger and heavier, and it makes him better in run defense too. So I think that we are definitely about to see Odafe Oweh's best, and he's probably making sure that he's about to have an all-time career year in his contract year so that he can either convince the Ravens to pay him next offseason, or he's going to end up getting a pretty big bag somewhere else. Odafe also spoke on Mike Green, and he said he's the truth.
Mike, just got here, but
yeah, no, he's the truth. He's pretty seasoned, quick, twitchy. He picks up things fast. He's learning a lot of positions right now, and he's still playing fast as well. So, yeah, he's going to have a good season as well.
I think with the addition of Mike Green and Odafe Oweh being at his best, you never know what you're getting with Adisa Isaac and Ajabo. I think that they could surprise some people. Kyle Van Noy, we know what he brings as a veteran presence. Tavius Robinson on the rise. This is a very deep and well-rounded edge room. I think that the Ravens defense as a whole is going to be much better this year, and I think their pass rush is going to be even better this year, which they finished second in sacks in the league last year, but I think we're going to see them get home more in some big moments, and that's going to help out the defense and the team overall a lot. Overall, it was a great day 2 of OTAs today. The guys got some good work indoors. I know they want to be outside, but it was pouring rain, so had to go indoors today, but they'll probably be back outside tomorrow if the rain stops. But what a showing, man. I think that's the takeaway from today is Lamar Jackson showed up, and every veteran that didn't have something going on, Awuzie being sick, I don't know what's going on with Falele, some kind of physical issue. It didn't seem serious, but Harbaugh just said he'll be there when he's ready. But regardless, the entire team's basically there on day 2 of OTAs. That sends a message. I know the OTAs showing's always strong, but probably not quite this strong. This year does feel a little bit different where it's like, all right, we're pissed off, man. We've had a good enough team for the last 2 seasons, and we just didn't get it done Let's lock in. Let's build as much cohesion as possible. Go out there day by day, week by week. Keep getting better throughout the offseason. When the regular season gets here, 1 week at a time, try to play your best ball each week. And I think the Ravens got as good a shot as ever to get back to the playoffs. And then they just got to come through in the playoffs. You know, I think that that's where the change has to happen, is they got to play their best ball when it matters most. And I think that they have everything possible to do that this year. There's no excuses. I mean, the Ravens have everything they need to go win a Super Bowl this year. But let me know what you guys are thinking about everything. We talked about a lot of different topics. There's a ton of content and information today, but I love it, man. I love that football's back. Ravens are back in the building. Everybody's there, locked in. And I can't wait for this season to start. But appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And let the greatest linebacker in the history of the game take us out.
Ravens Flock. The Flock Rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. The Flock Rundown. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.